Hey guys, and welcome back to the channel. Now today I'm going to review the new Segway Max for $100 less than the original Max, which was one of the best selling scooters in 2020. I'm going to test out how fast it goes on all three speed modes, how long it takes to reach the top speed, what you can expect for range, and how well it can climb hills. I'll also be discussing brakes, comfort, stability, and overall feel of the scooter. So let's start the review off with a speed test. Before I dive into the review, I wanted to take a second and mention my recently launched website. Here you can find all of my scooter, bike, and board reviews. I've broken each category into commuter or off-road, and then again depending on price. I've got links to purchase and all the discount codes, so if you want to compare other brands before you buy, you should definitely check it out. I've got the link in the description. The new Max has a 350 watt brushless motor in the rear wheel, powered by a 36 volt lithium battery. They say that power can take a rider up to 18.6 miles per hour, the same top speed as the original. I opened my app and did a speed test on all three speed modes, reaching 9 miles per hour on the app and scooter for speed 1, 15 on the app and scooter for speed 2, and 18 on the app and 20 on the scooter for speed 3. Here's a comparison of all three speed modes. The new Max has the same thumb throttle as the original with a textured rubber pad, and in the app it can be switched over to pedestrian mode, which tops the scooter out at 3.7 miles per hour. The acceleration is almost identical to the original. It's fairly slow for the first 10 to 15 feet, then picks up the pace. Here's a look at the acceleration for all three speed modes. On the highest speed mode, I topped out in about a block. It's honestly one of the slower accelerations in this price range, which makes sense as it is one of the heavier brands, weighing 38.6 pounds. But it can carry a rider up to 220, which is the same as the original Max. The range rating is where the original Max separates itself from the new Max. The original Max's range rating is 40.1 miles. The new Max range rating is just under 25. After fully charging the scooter, which takes about 6.5 hours to do so, I switched to the highest speed mode and found a nice trail to see how long the Max would last for my 195 pound weight. There's no odometer display on the scooter, so I couldn't compare the numbers with my app that showed me hitting 15.10 miles. In my experience, in this price range for my weight, I typically get about 15 to 20 miles. The new Max barely made the lower end of that, so not terribly impressed with the range, but I was with the power consistency. I was bouncing back and forth from 18 to 19 miles per hour as the last battery bar was red and blinking. That was the same speed I was hitting with a full battery at the beginning of the ride. The only difference I noticed was a slower acceleration as the battery drained. The top speed stayed the same throughout the entire ride. Now, as far as comfort, you really can't find a smoother and better ride in this price range. The deck is wider than most other brands. I was able to fit my feet side by side, but they did hang off the side about an inch. Lengthwise, it is pretty short. I couldn't spread my legs out as much as I'd like to. The stem is very solid. There is zero movement or wiggle. It's one of the more solid stems, but I thought it was a little short. It's not bad, I just like a taller stem. They say the scooter is designed for riders 3'11 to 6'6", so it can handle a rider 7 inches taller than me. The handlebars are welded to the stem, so no movement at all, but they aren't very wide. Usually the wider the handlebars, the easier it is to control the scooter. The grips are the same as the original, some of the better ones I felt. There's no suspension with the Max, but it does have 10-inch tubeless air tires that work very well on sidewalks and rougher roads. There's a reason why a lot of city rentals are switching over to the Max. The two companies where I live in Utah have done it. Most scooters I've rented vibrate so much it's hard to see straight. I didn't feel that with the Max. Definitely one of the smoother scooters for $700. The new Max has a hill rating of 20%. I think that's too high for my weight. I found a 13.5% slope and averaged 7 to 8 miles per hour, with a section where I only got up to 6. I could hear the motor working pretty good and wouldn't feel comfortable going up anything steeper. For slopes around 5 to 10%, it did very well, only dropping in speed about 3 to 5 miles per hour. The brakes are some of the best I've felt and slide very little even when stopping from the highest speed, which takes 18 feet to do so. Here's a comparison on each of the speed modes. In the app, there's the option to switch on the regenerative electric brakes. Here's a comparison between low and high mode. The Max has an IPX5 waterproof rating, a 1-year warranty, a bell, and front and rear lights. The app tracks the range, battery life, and total odometer. At the bottom of the app, you can turn on the cruise control, and each ride can be recorded and tracked through GPS. The scooter can also be locked in the app. The new Max is a great scooter if you're looking for an affordable commuter scooter. It's a little high on the affordable end, but I think it's worth it. I've tested a lot of $300 to $500 scooters that don't feel as well built as the Max, and one look at the Amazon reviews and you'll be convinced. I've got the link in the description over to Amazon if you want more info. So that wraps up the review. Hopefully you enjoyed it and found it helpful. If you did, hit that like button and be sure to subscribe for the latest in bike, board, and scooter reviews. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you next time.